Hey, this is Andrew Brown, and welcome to the AWS Cloud Project Bootcamp, where we are still on week 2 doing observability. We're going to implement Rollbar so we can have a way of collecting our errors and resolving them in an easy way. So I've created a new Rollbar account. You should have done so as well. I'm going to go into my branches here. I'm going to fork off or create a branch off of the CloudWatch log so we can continue on from here. I use branches. You do not use branches. Do everything in your main. We're going to go here and type in Rollbar. We'll go ahead and create that branch. We'll go back over to here. We'll click on Gitpod, and we will launch up our Gitpod environment. It is way big because my stuff is too large there. And we'll give it a moment to launch up. As we're waiting, we'll go over to Rollbar. If it's the first time you logged in, you should be seeing something like this. And so I'm going to go through here, and we are implementing this for Flask, but it will want you to add apps. We're going to skip this step. If you don't see the screen, if you just try to add a new project, it will have you fill this in no matter what. But we can instrument both the front end and the back end. We should probably do both. I was only going to do the back end, but maybe we should do both because it shouldn't be too hard to do. So we are looking for Flask as our framework. So here it is, continue, has some instructions. And I know these instructions are incomplete because when I looked it up, the instructions, I noticed that they did not have all the options. It will give us an error. So we will make our way through that here in a second. Going to our instructions, yeah, you need Blinker. They have it somewhere else documented. It's just when you go through their instructions, it just, I don't know why. Anyway, so this is up. We're going to go into backend Flask. We're going to go into requirements. I'm going to go ahead and grab Blinker and Rollbar. We'll go down below and paste these in. I'm going to go ahead and save these. So we'll see, say, cd out of here, and we'll go into the backend. And we'll do pip install requirements.txt. At this point, you should know how to install requirements. That is going to install that stuff there. That will give us Blinker and Rollbar. So what we'll need to do next is add our Rollbar access token. It is right here. So if I go here, you can see this is our access token. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Yours is going to be different from mine. Don't use mine or you'll be plugging data to me. It won't help much at all there. We'll make a new text file. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. We want to set it as this here. So we'll go back to here, paste this in, copy and paste. GP env. It did not copy it. Right click copy, right click paste. And we'll do the same thing twice. We'll copy this, clear it, paste it. So next time I start it up, we have this. We'll confirm as always. So that's env. We've done this quite a few times. So at this point, you should know how to do this. It is env grep rollbar. Let's make sure that is set correctly. Match it up to here. Looks good to me. And now that that's been set, we need to instrument our code. We're using the same thing here. So we need to import these. So we'll go to our app.yaml, and we will go here first. This is for Rollbar. And we'll go back over here. We have this initialization going on here. I'm going to grab from our code, because what it does is it assigns the environment variable here for us, so it's a lot easier to work with. And we'll go down to here. We'll paste that in. We'll go up. Rollbar. We'll do that. That looks good to me. It's set for a production environment, so that's one thing that we switched. Even though we're not, this is actually the development environment, that's totally fine. I don't mind doing that right now. We have a simple one here. I don't know if this would result in an error. X equals none. Axis 5. Yeah, that was they purposely did that to cause an error to happen so we could see our first exception. I think I wrote this thing to have a test endpoint for us so that we can see our first test. I think I prefer to do that. We'll go down below here. I'll paste that in. So this is a new endpoint that we've created. It's not even on API, it's just rollbar test. And I will type in clear. And for this, we can start our application up now. We'll do compose up. Because right here, this is waiting for the first data to appear. So that's what it is waiting for. So give that a moment to start up. I'll see you back here when the app is running. Okay, so it's running now. We're going to go over to our ports. We're going to open the back end. So we see nothing here. That's totally fine. We're going to do API activities home. Hopefully that still works from our last video. Activities, API activities home. Actually, it says it's not working, so we'll have to go and check Docker here and right-click and check out the logs. Why isn't it working? Name app is not defined, so we've placed code before something's supposed to work on line 57. We'll go up to line 57, right here, app. So this has to happen afterwards. That's totally fine. So we'll go ahead and, I thought we placed it down far enough. I guess we didn't. Oh, the app is here, so we were in the wrong spot. And I'll put it down below here with other stuff that makes sense. And we will go back here and do up. And that will fix that issue there. So we'll wait a moment here for that to be ready. Okay, we'll go back over here. I'm going to open up the back. Oh, is it still not working? Oh, I think it's working. It's just this page never works. It's always 404. So we'll go here and we'll say API activities home, which is fine. That's fine. We'll do our new endpoint. I think it was rollbar test. Hello world. That's fine. We'll go back here and see if it's gotten any data yet. Waiting for your first event. I mean, it should have it. We'll continue to rollbar, see if it's picking it up. It should be listening here. I'll just shrink here for a moment so we get normal view. I'm looking for items. It's still saying it has yet to get any data. I'm going to open up the logging to see what we are getting in our logs, because this should be configured now. Actually, what I'm going to do is check if the shell environment variable is being set. Oh, it's not even running. No, it's running. Here we go. We'll attach the shell. Let's just double check the environment variables. Always good to do that. We'll do env grep rollbar, see if it's set. It's showing that it's not set, of course. Okay, so I don't know why it's not showing up, but this sometimes has to do with when we start it up like that. So this is where I just talk about restarting the machine, because we know we set the environment variable, but it's not taking effect. So instrument or add rollbar. I'm going to commit that. I'm going to sync it. Make sure that it's there. It's very frustrating when you commit code and you find out that it's not there. Are we in the right repo? Did we do everything in this? I thought we did. We had one for rollbar. What repo is this? Oh, geez. I'm in week 2 CloudWatch logs. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just so I'm not mixed up here, is I'm going to go to my branches. I'm going to look for rollbar here. We'll go ahead and delete that branch. You don't have to do this. This is what I have to do. So I deleted that branch. Now I'm going to go and say git checkout -b week 2 rollbar. And I'm going to do a git push. I'm going to push that branch. Okay, I'm going to go check out my old one here. And I'm going to go back to this one here. Hey everybody, it's Andrew Brown. I'm back. Actually, I've been gone for 2 days, even though in the video it seems like I was gone for a second. So let's see if we can get ourselves resituated here. As far as I remember last time, we are figuring out how to get Rollbar to listen to our code. It says it's trying to listen. I'm going to hit refresh here, and hopefully I do not have to re-log in here. But it seems like that code is not coming through the application. And so my application is no longer running. I'm going to have to go back to my application code, which is running, what were we running? Rollbar. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go to my Rollbar branch and hit Git pod and reopen up here. And we'll try to figure out why it's not calling home. And maybe the error might show up in our terminal. So maybe that will help us indicate what is going on there. And we'll give a moment here for this to reload. While that is going, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to check my envs for Rollbar because I want to see if that value is set. The token is set, so therefore that is working. We need to wait for that npm install to finish. Again, there might be a solution provided where we don't have to do that. I remember a student shared it. I did not have time to check it out. It would be nice not to have to do that anymore. What we're going to do is go and do Docker Compose up, but it looks like our Docker button isn't there. Some people have experienced this before, so they know what I'm talking about. So since I'm impatient, I'm going to go over here and type in Docker Compose up. Whoops, we'll clear that. Docker Compose up. I wrote Composer, it's just Compose. Composer sounds nice though. And we will give that a moment. We are getting some errors, and that is okay. Why are we getting errors? Things about Golang. I don't know. So what we'll do is just do up now since our Docker's there, and maybe we'll have an easier time reading what the problem is. Here's pulling the X-ray daemon. And we will just watch it go and go and go. Yeah, it's very interesting why this is not reporting. Rollbar was an amazing product back in the day. It still is really good, but I still find that the DX, the developer experience getting onboarded, has not been as good as it used to be. But still, there isn't anything any better in terms of bug reporting that also has the robustness of it is. But we will give this a moment here to start up. We'll go over to our ports, take a look here. Still nothing running. I did not click anything, it just opened there. And we are still getting errors. So what is it erroring on? We'll go over to our ports. We can see maybe the daemon's not running, which in all fairness is okay. I don't care if it is running because we do not need it for Rollbar, and we actually commented it out when we were using X-ray for other things. I can't really see what's going on, so I'll just have to shrink here and see what it's complaining about. Docker Compose. Yeah, I'm not sure what's spitting out that error. I mean, the daemon's running. So, I mean, I think we're okay. I'm not sure why that's happening. I'm going to go to the view logs for the Flask application. And in different frameworks, it would actually tell you if Rollbar is logging here. I'm not sure if it will tell us here in Flask because it's such a simple application. We'll go back over here to terminal. We're getting this information out. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing that, so I think what I will do is kind of mute it. So I'll go over to our our backend here, into our services, where we had this other tracer. It's in the app pie. Where is that other one that is so noisy? It's the simple one. So it's not the batch, it's the simple. Well, it prints out, this one here. So I'm just going to do that, and then my life will be a lot easier when looking at information. Go back over here, we'll refresh. Totally okay if it doesn't return anything there. We're going to go to API, Activities, Home. Okay, that's fine. And I believe that we set up our own URL called rollbar test something something down here, rollbar test. So that is good. So we'll go over here, we'll type in rollbar test. Hello world, we'll go back over here. Please configure by calling rollbar init with your access token. No access token provided. I think that's what the last thing we checked. We logged into the server and we did not see it being passed along. So that means it's going to be in our Docker compose file where we need to pass it along here. So that's what I forgot to do. So I'll go over here and type in env grep rollbar, and we will get the name of the environment variable, which is this rollbar access token. Okay, so that's a very easy fix. I remember before 2 days ago, I wasn't sure what it was, but I think I was just really tired. So sometimes you got to rest, and then it becomes very clear what the problem is. So we'll paste that in there. We will do a Docker compose up. Again, don't know why we're getting that Golang error, but it doesn't seem to be hurting anything, so we will ignore it for now. It looks like everything is running. We'll go back over to here. We'll give it a refresh. We'll go back to our logs. So on the left-hand side, I will right-click onto the backend, view the logs. We'll give it a moment. We'll click into that. We'll click into that. It says rollbar test. Sorry for the voice there. Rollbar test. It doesn't say anything about rollbar. So before when we did this, it said, hey, this isn't configured. Now it's saying nothing. That's probably a good indicator that it's shipping back to rollbar. We'll go back over here. We'll click into items. Sometimes it doesn't always reflect very clearly. Your advanced trial ends in 14 days. Okay, well, we only care about the 5,000 events per month, so that's okay. And I see no items. Please select at least one project. I'm going to zoom out here. Sometimes this happens. Click this. Again, the UI is a little bit old, so that's probably why we're having issues here. Production. The first project is the project that we set up. I don't really trust it because I wanted to create myself a project and not necessarily have one by default. So is it working? Maybe if we select box on all levels here. Here we go. That's why. This is a warning level. That's why we didn't see it. I'm just going to zoom up here. So all I did, remember, we expanded this on the left-hand side. We chose our project. We have our levels down below. So if we checkbox them all, that helps us narrow down exactly what we're looking at. You can see first project, we'll click into Hello World. And this is what we use for the student portal. So when you hit 500 errors or things like that, we see them coming in. So what you can do is go to occurrences. You can see when it's happened, who it's happened for. You have to configure additional information. That is part of your homework challenges, is to add that contextual additional information. See browser, API addresses. But when we run into an error, we can find out what the problem is. So let's go ahead and jank the code and make an error occur. I'm going to go over to my home activities. We're going to do what we normally do, and we'll just take out the return. Okay, we will save that. We'll go back over here. I'm going to type in API activities home, and we get an error. It's telling us what the error is, but the idea is if you're in production, you probably wouldn't see this error. Users would just see 500 error, and so then what you do is go to Rollbar, and you take a look, and you see that there was an error. So I click into this one, and it will give me the trace, so it'll tell me where it happened in the code. You can expand it, narrow down where it probably has happened. This one is not providing very useful information. Oh, here it is, app.py. No, normally it would tell you the exact line. It would say it's in home activities. I'm not sure why it's not so great. I'm going to just zoom out here for a second. Go to raw here for a moment. Yeah, it doesn't tell us much, but we know that, well, I guess we kind of know that this is data home and it's in the app.py. Some are better than others. But yeah, so that is Rollbar in a nutshell. And the idea is that when you run into an error, go to Rollbar and take a look and see what the error is, because that will save us a lot of trouble for debugging. Right now, we've been kind of poking around in like the network and looking at the terminal, but this is just another way to do it, and also when you're in production later. They have a new UI. Let's take a look at it. I guess that's a bit better. That must be really new. Well, anyway, we have Rollbar successfully installed. So what I'm going to do is go over to here and we're going to commit our changes. I want to put back the return here. I don't want this to be broken. And I'm going to go ahead and say finish implementing Rollbar. Oh, I missed one. Shouldn't write bad commits like that, but I just want to get it in there. And there we go. So we are done Rollbar. Ciao.